Here we go again, folks, with another film that's right down my alley, my cup of tea, and this time we're going to be talking about the film There Are No Saints. What's up, folks, and welcome back to the channel today for another review. And today we're going to be reviewing the film There Are No Saints, which is coming to theater, on demand, and digital May 27th. Now, let's talk about the cast, because this cast is loaded. And one way or another, you're going to recognize somebody in this film. Starting over with our lead here, José Yazpik. You have Paz Vega, Neil Madonna, Tommy Flanagan, Ron Perlman, and Tim Roth. And also Carla Souza, who I haven't seen in a while since How to Get Away with Murder, but I was thoroughly happy to see her in her very interesting role in this film. But let's kind of go what this film is about, because this film is right down in terms of genre, but yet identity. It's like a John Wick, it's like a Equalizer, it's that anti-hero, that anti-hero spectrum where the folks that aren't really good guys but are trying to do good guy things. And it's a very common theme in genre, and we see it over and over, but it's truly not about the plot, it's about the action. And you want the action to be action packed, and you want it to keep you at the edge of your seat the entire time. And I will say that the beginning of this film definitely brought it. The middle of the film lost a little bit of momentum, but then the third act was intense. There was even moments that were like super intense. I just kind of found myself just having to squinch my eyes a little bit, because there was some torturing going on and whatnot. And and even in these films, there's truly no happy endings, but overall I was still very much entertained. The production was good, the acting was good. And when you have these independent films with names that are coming from all across the board, whatever category you want to consider one's acting may be, I feel like independent films are still special because folks come together and they really give it their all. And I mean, like, Tommy Flanagan in a very minimal role, he really makes the best of it as always. Ron Perlman, who's your big baddie in this film, he comes in the third act and he instantly makes an impact. You instantly believe his character. So many different people. Carla, who plays Kali, who runs a strip club. She kind of runs the operation with her husband, Jet, who's played by Tommy Flanagan, who is a guns dealer. And then Jose is a ex-con. He's recently out. He's ready to start a new life, putting everything behind him. He just was recently released from off of death row, so he's back on these streets. But the streets ain't forget who he was, and with that, trouble comes lurking. But he's trying to put that all past him at this point now. He was a hitman at a point, and why he went to jail, there's going to be folks obviously looking to kind of investigate that, but also how he got out of jail. It kind of has him on both sides of the law here, because you got the cops that's after him, you're going to have the streets after him, and he's just trying to be a family man. He wants to get to his son. However, his son kind of gets caught in a technicality here, because Ron Perlman's character, Senior Sands, who is a ex-ATF agent, he's the big boss, as I said. He kidnaps him in a sense of collateral yet depth, and it's more of a what goes around comes around thing, and more of an act of retribution. So yeah, and that just leaves Jose just trying to save his son with everybody after him, but he's also trying to get answers. He's kind of just out on his own. His ex, or we'll call it for what he calls it. He says his wife has a new boyfriend. She's unavailable. She's also a casualty to circumstances, well, too. So she's no aid. He has a counselor, Carl, played by Tim Roth, who basically is just like, listen, I'm gonna give you a contact and then I'm up out of here. And Neil Madonna is back to being the bad guy. He's Vincent. He is one of the first obstacles he must overcome in order to get information as to where his son is at. During this, though, he meets a woman by the name of Inez, who is working within the strip club as well. The strip club is where everybody get their information from, apparently, right? She's ride or die, and played by Shannon Salzman, they have amazing chemistry. So while this is sort of a tale of vengeance, this is also a tale of love too, because we've seen this type of character before, of like very reserved, you know, really don't have much of a purpose kind of going on right now, but finds purpose in the wrong place, and she rides with him, you know, through thick and thin, through everything that's going on. You know, she at a point solicit information, then she's kind of like, that's it, and then I'm gone. But then they grow fond of each other, and yeah, so you know, ride or die woman that's with him and everything. But with that being said, you know, couple of things here. Neil, back to being a bad guy. Always enjoy him as a bad guy. I am actually upset that we did not get a scene with Neil and Tommy. They just recently worked the film Boom, which really, they work well together. And as I said with Tommy, even in a very limited role, he makes a huge impact. And I just wish they had got the screen time together. And yeah, like I said, the action wasn't too heavy. You know, the beginning definitely made a statement. The middle was kind of mellow and whatnot, but by the time you got going into the third act, things really started to turn up. There's a torture scene that really had me squinting. It was just very intense. And honestly, it's where the film makes his money at, the third act. I mean, you're gonna be on the edge of your seat. There's a lot of action, there's high stakes, all of it really comes together, and there's definitely some oh my god moments that occur too. So yeah, and then in terms of production, the production was solid, had some explosions, the cinematography was good, very cinematic, shall I add. There was a couple of action scenes that were involving moving cars, and you had some cars flipping and inside the car shots and whatnot. So, you know, the things you sort of expect from like a John Wick and an Equalizer, they definitely made sure they hit on all of those and whatnot. And overall, it was solid. I think this is totally a good popcorn film. You know, you're not really much into the plot. The plot is about a man trying to save his son that was kidnapped, and he gets a girlfriend on the ride. I mean, very simple, but it's all about the action. And with the action, yeah, it was gory at times, and the beginning and the end really was what you were here for and whatnot. And it just, you know, happens to be just how the make of these films are. You know, sometimes you get the film that's just action the entire time, but most of the time it's the beginning and the end. The middle is just kind of just a filler. I will add though that I feel like this film may be trying to set up for a sequel. I wouldn't be mad at it. I actually kind of like where they established this character here. And I think that with him, Neto, because I didn't mention his name, played by Jose, I think that with this vengeance in his heart sort of mentality, much like John Wick, I think that there's always money to be made. You know, this genre is very popular, and that's why they continue to make films within it. And, you know, using all the standard tropes that's in these films, I think they work. I don't think anybody really truly gets tired of it. I don't think nobody gets tired of guns a-blazing and bodies dropping and all that sorts of good stuff. And I think the anti-hero thing is a very popular thing, and that's what he is, you know. So but I totally suggest to go check this out. If you can check this out in the theater, I think it's absolutely a good Friday night film, a good popcorn film, a good date night film, whatever it may be, where you can just eat some popcorn, kick back, and watch some people get their butt kicked, you know. So there's that. But this film is There Are No Saints. Totally check it out. Let me know your thoughts about this film when you do, and as always, stay tuned for more reviews very soon.